Good evening everyone and welcome back to Lobby 2 here at round 7 of the Renault Mégane Trophy, sponsored by PowerMax Racing, here with NXTGEN. I'm Jack TM53, of course, your commentator in this championship. We are just a few moments away from race 2 of the night. What a spectacular race 1 we've just had at Laguna Seca. Absolutely superb to watch. Lots of action throughout. It was absolutely wonderful to watch the drivers out on circuit, putting in loads of good overtakes and lots of fights. And in the end, it was KZ2 Haas who took the race spoils after a pretty lonely event, really, but he broke away when he needed to, didn't put a foot wrong, and now he has completely thrust himself into championship contention. I've done some quick calculations whilst we've been off the air for these brief few minutes to just check who is where in the top 4 in the championship fight at the moment, and if my maths are correct, as it stands, Dee Hartley, where is he at the moment? 79. He is on 197 points after that race. In second place now, it's no longer Dominator, it's Duds, who's on 195, so brought himself right into the fight as Duds. Third is Dominator on 192, and Haas, who won that race, is on 188. So the drivers, the top 4 in the championship, separated by just 9 points, as Shadow Stalker joins Danzo to play in the gravel trap. Interesting choice of position to go and do some playing, but you know, just remember everyone, if you're at a race circuit, don't do it on purpose. Just make sure you run out of talent before you get to that point. Greener Army, is he going to join in the fun at turn 4? Yes, he is. He joins right in. Almost unintentionally, though, I would suspect, from Greener Army as he gets out. But the race is due to start, so I'll put a quick little warning message for the drivers so that they know to be ready and prepared, which I hope that they are. They should know that already. So let's crack things underway. Don't forget, 15-minute race for Lobby 2, of course. Lobby 2, race 2, always has a 15-minute sprint race, effectively, with a full reverse grid from the previous results. So that does mean for a number of times, again this season, Dominator 3 will be starting near the back, but it will be Greener Army on pole position in that green Dread sponsored car. There's Dominator next to him on the front row. Be interested to see how he gets on. Hartley and Shadow Stalker are on row 2, so watch out for them. Going to be a great race, this one. 15 minutes on the right hand side, 11 cars on circuit. Here come the numbers. Race 2 is live at Laguna Seca, and Greener Army gets another good start, as he always does, on the front row. Dominator's going to be looking to the inside. He's going to want to try and break away early if he can, but Hartley knows he's there, and Greener Army has decided the best place to go is the gravel trap. So Dominator leads the way into turn 3. They go for the first time. That's KZ2 Haas getting a little bit shuffled out at turn 3. He's not going to be too pleased, but Dominator goes into the lead. Hartley's tracking him. There's Chalk in 3rd place, so he's had a good start. Shadow Stalker up into 4th. There's Danzo. There's Duds. Big Madaz. Silver Fox 40. Haas is up to 9th. Skyver 10th. And our previous pole position man, Greener Army, in 11th. But Haas looking, or rather, Hartley already looking at the back of that rear wing of Dominator 3. They know that they cannot lose more points to one another at this point in the championship. They know that Duds, well, they will know, Duds and Haas are closing them in this championship fight. They need to try and pull away, but it's going to be difficult to do that because Chalk has been impressive today. Hasn't had the result he deserved, but he's got a chance now, and he's got a brilliant run through Rainy Curve, but he just runs wide coming out of the corner, so he's got to throttle back and hold on to the tail of the cars in front of him. Shadow Stalker in 4th. Danzo in 5th. He's got to defend from Duds, who's already looking to try and get himself right into potentially the championship lead, depending on how he plays his cards in this second race. There's Silver Fox. There's Haas, who's going to be looking to try and get past Silver Fox as soon as possible as they go into turn number 2 for the second time of asking. He'll find it a quite tough prospect, though, to get past Silver Fox. He's certainly not one to give up. The Skyver, Big Madaz has gone backwards, so he's down in 10th. But at the moment, Dominator just pulled the gap going into turn number 4, but he's lost a bit of momentum out of turn 5, and he's just 6 tenths clear. But Hartley's under pressure from Chalk 12, the man who's arguably been one of the quickest drivers tonight, as has Dominator in terms of that fastest lap last race. But Chalk didn't go round as often. He's got a second chance. Just as I say that, he goes over the AstroTurf. He got away there scot-free, but he can't play too many risks. He wants a first podium in the championship, but he knows he could win it tonight. He knows he could win the race, and that's what he's aiming to do. A proper racer is Chalk 12, and look how close he is underneath the wing of D. Hartley coming through Rainy Curve. It's all about putting Hartley under as much pressure as he possibly can, whilst not losing touch with Dominator in front of him. Shadow Stalker's there with them, Danzo's there, Duds is there as well, and there's a gap back to Silver Fox, who's doing his best to hold everyone up again. And in fact, Haas has not been able to go past him. He's gone backwards as Haas as a result. But as it stands, a relatively quiet opening 2-3 laps here at Laguna Seca. Duskiver's got past Silver Fox, and Haas is going to make his way through. Brave on the gravel, but he gets the move done. A little bit of sideways action coming out of turn 4, but nothing doing for Haas. He's got past Silver Fox, and you'd expect him to pull away considering his pace in race 1. So we'll keep an eye on his progress. He's 6 seconds behind the race leaders, but if they start fighting, you can guarantee... Oh, he gets hit by the back of Silver Fox. That's a bit of a awkward one in the steward's room if that goes forward. Unnecessary. Meanwhile, at the fight for the lead, these 3 at the front are just starting to extend that little advantage over Shadow Stalker, who's gone very deep into the corkscrew. He's managed to survive, and Duds, ever the optimist, goes for 2 places once again, and he's up to 4th. Duds CF14, his racecraft this season has been second to none in this league, and that was the opportunity he needed. Danzo, though, sees that gap and takes it back, so he gets 4th place back to Danzo, and Shadow Stalker, unfortunately the big loser, goes from 4th to 6th in the space of 3 corners. But Duds, taking any opportunity he gets to try and move forward, is unlucky not to keep it. At the trio fighting at the front, Dominator still leads the way. He's not being intensely pressured by Hartley, because Hartley himself's having to deal with the fight from Chalk 12, who just refuses to give up. 10 minutes to go in this race. Can Chalk... Oh, that's Chalk on the gravel. Can he hold it? He has. Danzo's going to see that podium come to his name, and up the inside he goes. Danzo into 3rd, but Chalk's trying to fight back. Duds is looking for every little sniff of an opportunity he can get. He can't get past, though. He has to stay in 5th place for the time being. Chalk, though, is run a little bit deep, and that's the opportunity that Duds wanted, and he moves into 4th. So the championship fight beckons for Duds. Oh, as I say that, he goes sideways out of the corkscrew, following Danzo's line. All just pushing as much as they can in this fight for the last spot on the podiums. It's allowed Hartley and Dominator to scamper away up the road. Shadow Stalker just a little bit behind now. Duskiver there in 7th place. Haas has caught up to that group, so he's in 8th. Dominator just setting a new fastest lap as Silver Fox goes deep at turn 13. There's Big Mad As and Greener Army finding a gravel trap coming out of Rainy Curve. Dominator just got a 2nd to D. Hartley. Duds is up to 3rd, and Chalk 12 aiming to make this 2 positions lost for Danzo, and that's what he's done. Covers the line rather aggressively, but well within his rights to do that. Nothing against the rules to say that he can't. So he gets up to 4th. Duds just runs a touch wide at turn number 5, but Duds on the podium. See how the drivers will do in the next couple of minutes. It's going to be fascinating to see what they can achieve in the next couple of corners. See if the drivers can indeed stay within the track limits, because we've seen that some of the drivers have been struggling as Danzo looks to go up the inside but the corkscrew, but he can't quite get close enough, so he stays there in that 5th position. Shadowstalker's within a second now, and Haas has found a way past Duskiver. So Haas, having set the fastest lap that prior one, is now looking to go as far up the field as he possibly can, with 7:50 to go on that right hand side of your screen there, as he gets a little bit sideways out of turn 13. Something that's a little bit static at the moment between the cars. Chalk now has free... Oh, Chalk's been hit by Danzo. That's a big crash. They managed to hold it. Shadowstalker just couldn't take advantage. Unfortunately for him, he would have been clean through in 4th place. But there's Haas looking for that chance up the inside, and up to 6th he goes. Can he clear Danzo? Can he get 2 in 1 corner? He can, and Haas moves up to 5th place. So talk about opportunistic driving. Haas is doing his own as well. So half the race to go. Haas now moves up to 5th. Danzo down to 6th. He's got Shadowstalker trying to go around the outside of him at turn number 6. That would have been impressive if he'd have pulled that off, but he couldn't, and Duskiver slips through to 7th. All action at the moment in this Mégane fight, but Chalk and Haas now are together on circuit. Duds has got a 4-second gap to Chalk. He's absolutely flying his Duds. Fastest lap on that last lap. He can see the championship protagonists in front of him. He's part of that group. He knows that he could potentially get onto the back of them and maybe even overtake them with 6.5 minutes to go. He's comfortably quicker than the 2 in front of him. As they go across the line, a 24.8, a 24.9, a 24.3 from Duds, a man on a mission. He's 1.6 behind Hartley, and if he keeps this up, he'll be on the back of him in 2 laps' time. Wow, this is a turn up from Duds. If he overtakes D. Hartley, he will be leading the championship coming out of round 7. This would be an incredible comeback, considering where he was in relation to Hartley after 3 rounds this season. But what can he do? He's got a few minutes left to go. It's still a long way to go in this race, a third of it left. And it's very easy to make a mistake around here. He's the only driver, along with Silver Fox and Haas, who didn't make a mistake last race, so you'd bank on him to be the one to keep it on the circuit, but he's the attacker now. Brings a whole new set of pressures that he has to deal with. Chalk there, he's got 4th. There's Haas in 5th. Danzo 6th, Duskiver, Shadowstalker, Silver Fox, Big Madaz, all relatively close together. It's been very impressive, the drivers in Lobby 2, in terms of the competitiveness. As Big Madaz sets a purple sector in Sector 2. We'll stay with him to see if he actually sets a fastest lap, because if he does, that would be just show you how many drivers could have potentially won tonight. But all of the transgressions off circuits just haven't benefited Big Badass tonight. He doesn't, but he sets another personal best of a 24.8, so Duds has done a 24 flat. He's on the back of D. Hartley. He gained 8 tenths. What does Hartley do in this position? Does he defend, or does he let Duds go, hope that Duds can catch up to the back of Dominator and overtake him as well, potentially? It's 4 minutes to go. I think Hartley would be inclined not to, as Duds clamps the curb at turn 6. That's going to cost him, and it has. Just got to keep it consistent. He can see the cars in front of him. He knows he's got 3 laps left to try and get past D. Hartley at the minimum. Oh, Big Badass has taken a interesting line coming out of turn 6. Not ideal for him. That's Shadowstalker's gone off the circuit. Oh, bit of contact between himself and Silver Fox. I don't know if Silver Fox realised Shadowstalker was there, but Silver Fox gains a position. I think Shadowstalker's gone off coming out of turn 7. Duskiver, Danzo, Haas, Chalk, Duds, Hartley, Dominator within a second and a half of one another. Dominator will be feeling the pressure. This will be big if he wins this. It'll put him right into the thick of the action again. Not to say he isn't, but it would really throw a spanner in the works of this championship. It would be very open. Haas, let's not rule him out of contention. Dutz was 3/10 quicker in Sector 1, benefiting from that slipstream of D. Hartley, of course. But can he do it? 3 minutes to go. These are the top 3 in the championship that you could see on circuit. Not quite in championship in order. Oh, as Hartley clamps that curb at turn number 7. Dudds is going to try and look to go up the inside. He's forced the door open. So can Dudds make the move into the corkscrew? They both lean on each other. They break so late, the pair of them. But Dudds just about kept it on the circuit, and he takes second place. They both braked as late as they dared, and last of the late breakers, Hartley went off the track, and Dudds just had enough room to escape. And he's got the view of Dominator 3 in front of him. 2 minutes to go, 2 laps for these two drivers to fight it out over the first place and a race victory. As it stands, Dudds is your championship leader, but can he go for a race win? Can he pull it off? Still yet to find out. Chalk still running in 4th. Him and Haas running quite happily in 4th and 5th. I don't think there's going to be any advances unless there's a mistake from the 3 drivers in front of them. Chalk looks like he's going to come home in 4th, which is going to be very frustrating. He's had the pace to get a podium again tonight. He's just missed out. But a minute and a half left. Anything could happen. Duskiver fighting off Danzo. Danzo looks like he's going to be on the inside as they come towards turn 6, but Duskiver shuts the door. Dudds still trying to make that inroad on Dominator further up the field, but Danzo couldn't quite make that move on Duskiver. He has to sit in 7th place for the time being, but lots of fighting all over the circuit. Really good to watch. Silver Fox is 8th, Shadow Stalker there in 9th. He's got Big Madaz not too far behind in 10th. I think Big Shadow Stalker's gone off again somewhere on circuit. Greener Army running around in 11th. No harm done there. Dominator's got a penalty he needs to try and clear. Dudds will know that as they go on to the final lap. These two, I believe, are the closest on circuit outside of Duskiver and Danzo. We'll just watch Danzo as they come into turn number 13. Duskiver a little bit sideways out of that corner. So Danzo in the slipstream. Which way does he go? Does he try and feign right to go left up the inside? He can't get there. Hits the back of Duskiver, but he gives himself that opportunity. He brakes later up the inside. He shuts the door on Duskiver, and Danzo, is he into 6th? Duskiver, fair play to him, just backed out. A little bit of a tap there coming out of turn 2. He stays then in 7th place. Good move from Danzo. Ooh, Duskiver a little bit wide. We'll cut back to the fight for first though, because Dominator still leads. Dudds is in 2nd. He will have potentially one opportunity depending on how the rest of the lap goes. He's going to be in a slipstream coming up to the corkscrew, but he's not close enough. There will be one last shot for him on the brakes into the corkscrew. Dominator's led from start to finish. Dudds sideways over the corkscrew, but he's still within 4/10 of the car in front. He clips the curb at Rainey. Then coming into turn 12, Dominator will know he's there. Dominator runs a little bit deeper. This is the opportunity that Dudds would be looking for. Will he go for a dive bomb? He won't. He's going to try and aim to get a good exit out of the corner, but he's not quite there. It's going to be Dominator, but he's got a penalty. He's going to have to try and clear it somehow towards the line. Can he do it in time? He can't, and it's Dudds who takes the race victory. Dudds wins it. Dominator 3 is 2nd. Chalk's got a podium. He's got 3rd. We haven't seen it. The final corner, Hartley's gone off. Would you believe it? Chalk 12, his first podium in the championship. It's well deserved. Fabulous for Chalk. Hartley 4th, Haas 5th, Danzo 6th, Duskiver 7th, Silver Fox 48th, Shadowstalker, Big Madaz and Greener Army round out their field. But it's Dudds who takes the race victory and the championship lead in the Mégane Trophy. Dominator had a penalty right at the last, and it's just cost him in the race. Wow, absolutely superb. What an eventful set of races we have had at Laguna Seca. It's been superb to watch, but nevertheless the championship will roll on to round 8, where the drivers will be fighting again the same time next Thursday, of course. and we'll see how they get on in a few, well, 7 days time, of course. In terms of the championship standings, I'm just doing a quick calculation here just to give everyone an idea where they are. Duds has just commented on the Twitch stream to say, oh my god. Yes, absolutely. Oh my god, indeed. That was fabulous to watch. So, a quick calculation on the championship standings, which I've just worked out. So, if my calculations are correct, they may be out by a point or two, depending on any incidents that may have occurred in the race. Provisionally, Duds leads the championship going into round 8 on 218. 218. D. Hartley would be second on 212. Dominator 3 would be third on 210, and Haas is fourth place on 200. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Absolutely brilliant. So, we will be back for the 8th race of the season next week. Make sure you do tune in for that event. I'll tell you what race we're at next week, because off the top of my head I've just briefly forgotten. But in any case, next week, round 8, going to be absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll see how the drivers get on around the circuit that we'll be facing. But do make sure you tune in with NXTGEN in terms of our social media channels, all of our events that are going on. It is absolutely brilliant to get involved, whether you're a spectator or even someone who wants us to get involved with the Méganes. There's space in lobby 2. You can take part. Can you beat a couple of the drivers that are in this lobby? Because some of them are absolutely superb. But do tune in onto our Facebook channels if you need to. You can go to Facebook on the group. You can check in on social media, including Instagram, Discord, Twitter, the website. Don't forget, you can have a look at. But next week at round 8, we'll be headed to Brands Hatch Indy, which always throws up an incredible set of racing. And no doubt with 2 races in a reverse grid to throw into the mix, it's going to be even more hectic than ever. But in any case, that is it for this week at Laguna Seca. New championship leader, 4 championship protagonists with 3 rounds to go. Going to be an absolute whirlwind to the end of the season. But do check it out on Twitch on JackTM53 if you want to catch up on any of the past races, or even on YouTube as well, where I upload the races too. But in any case, wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. See you soon.